Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown,
the unofficial sumo podcast
for official sumo fans.
Ryan, kick us off.
I'm working on it. Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown. This is Ryan.
Yar, this be Jake.
Yar, this be Pirate Flerick.
I'm just along for the ride. I'm Mac. Hi.
And I want to make a quick correction because I said that my name is Ryan, but that's not the full story now, is it, Jake?
Is it Marion?
Aye, it be Yokozuna Ryan.
Talk Like a Pirate Day was a few days ago.
We got made fun of because you and I have similar sounding voices on the podcast.
So
help me, I'll cut off me peg leg if it happens again.
As long as you call me Yokozuna Ryan, I guess I really don't care how you pronounce it.
I do be swabbing the poop decks this basho.
Okay, maybe I care a little bit how you talk. Speaking of this basho, we had a, how do you say it?
Wacky
Aki? Wacky Aki?
It's
Just say
better.
Aki.
It's better in text than it is spoken. I
It
think.
really is. I was belaboring this morning on my drive to work. Like, how are you supposed
And
to pronounce
all
it?
day at work.
Yeah, I didn't get anything done. Wacky Aki? Wakey Aki? I don't know. It's confusing. But
Regardless.
we had one of those as per the usual for Aki bashos.
We had a goofy September. That
Yes.
Have we had
Somehow
a
is less
normal
bad.
September? I mean, since we've been watching, something weird has always happened with Aki.
You're right. We had a Goedo Zensho Yu show.
What happened?
We had
That's weird.
Goedo choking away a 2 or 3 match lead in the final 2 to 3 days.
against Haramafuji. Yeah, that was
that was the big one. Was Haramafuji.
Kisei no Sato won 10 matches last year, and Goedo won a Jun Yu show.
That's
Yeah.
awfully wacky.
But Hakuho had a Zenyu show, so that's kind of normal.
It kind of
No,
normalized
no.
everything there. And then this
then
year
this year we had this thing.
we're going to talk about for the next hour and a half to 2 hours. So let's get into that. This year, the Yusho winner at Aki was Mitakayumi, Sekiwake Mitakayumi, taking home his second career Yusho in a playoff, our first playoff since that Goedo one we just mentioned a little while ago. And he beat Takakeisho, his fellow Sekiwake, in that playoff, the first ever Sekiwake all-only playoff.
Cool.
Nice.
This is just
Groovy.
unheard of. I'm struggling here because this shouldn't happen. You shouldn't have two Sekiwake battling for the Yusho. There are 2 ranks above you that are supposed to be way better than that.
Supposed to be, but when they're both hurt, and then like the half of the Ozeki rank that isn't hurt is Goedo and Tochinoshin, Sekiwake are kind of your best people in the boss
This
show.
is why I said supposed to be.
Yeah, so you had Kakuryu and Hakuho both pulling
It
out.
is the most Goedo thing ever.
Oh, Takeyasu's kicking himself for not being able to participate in
It's
this.
like, I could beat these guys with one arm.
This
What
had
am I thinking about?
Takayasu choking on the final day to lose a Yusho written all over it.
Ooh, that hurts. That hurts deeply. It strikes to me very bones.
It strikes to me very bones.
Yokozuna Ryan.
That is correct.
Or you be wearing the captain's hat. But yeah, there's 5 guys ranked above the Sekiwake. Of them, 1 finished the basho with a winning record.
Yeah.
And yes, Goedo, of course. Hakuho was around for 1 day
And lost.
and when he
To
pulled
Hokuto
out,
Fuji.
that lost me a bet that I had with Mac.
We'll get to those bets in
We'll
a
get
little
to that
bit.
one, but that one hurt a lot. Kakuryu pulled out. Takayasu never started. Tochinoshin was
Still hurt.
Failure to launch.
very hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Goedo, I think it was our fantasy guest this time around, said Goedo got a Goedo Yusho, which is removing
10
himself
wins?
from Kadoban status.
Yeah.
Well, fair point. Well done.
To round out the results of the basho, the special prizes that were awarded, we did not have a technique or Gino show prize awarded this time. We did have 2 Shukun show outstanding performance awards given. Mitakayumi picked up his 5th Shukun show award, and Asanoyama picked up his 2nd. And we also had 2 Kanto show fighting spirit awards given out, and those were to Okinoumi and Tsurugisho. Okinoumi picking up his 5th, and Tsurugisho picking up his 1st. So let's just kind of go in to figure out how this wild wacky Aki,
Let's
It's
just stop.
still bothering you.
this Aki basho was won. And it kind of takes like, we could do like a full breakdown of who was in the lead every day and how it like changed back and forth, but we'll just do like the final 6 days. So on day 10, we had 5 Rikishi tied with 8 wins, when normally it's Hakuho with a 2-win lead.
Just about, yeah.
Yeah.
But before that, it was Okinoumi. Okinoumi was the leader.
Okinoumi went off to a 7-0 start, and as soon as we started talking about him, he's like, oh crap, people are like realizing that I exist. So he lost 3 in a row, got all of that hype taken away from him.
The pressure got to him.
Yes.
Yeah, I did look back, and I'm going to instantly do the thing you just said we weren't going to do and break it down day by day. But there were only like 3 days where there was an actual leader, and it was like day 6, 7, 8, I think it was, where Okinoumi was the last one undefeated, and after that there was never one person in the lead until Takakeisho.
Okay. Yeah. And so, yeah, on day 10, Mitakeumi, Takakeisho, Asanoyama, Okinoumi, Meisei all had an 8-2 record. And then on day 11, 3 of those guys dropped a match, and we ended up with only Takakeisho and Meisei in the lead with 9 wins. And then that next day, Meisei dropped another match, and so it was Takakeisho on day 12 alone, the sole leader with 10 wins, in prime position to take home his second Yusho. And then on day 13, Takakeisho couldn't handle the competition. I believe that was when Goedo kind of slapped him down.
Yep.
And so then we had 4 Rikishi tied with 10 wins on day 13. So that was Mitakeumi, Takakeisho, Okinoumi, and Tsurugisho. And that's when everybody on Twitter and in our group chats was talking about how we could get like 8 or 9 different people involved in a playoff. And for once, it seemed almost feasible
I was
that this
about to
could
say,
happen.
it was statistically possible.
We got real close to a more than 2 guys thing.
It was so close. We didn't quite get there. But yeah, on day 14, we still had 3 guys with 12 wins, those being Mitakeumi, Takakeisho, and controversially, Okinoumi. We'll talk about that later. We'll skip over it for now. So to set the stage for what day 15 looked like, we had 2 matches featuring all 3 of the Rikishi with 12 wins. We had Takakeisho versus Okinoumi, which is basically a playoff match in and of itself because the winner was guaranteed either the Yusho or a chance at the playoff for the Yusho. So big stakes for the winner of Takakeisho versus Okinoumi. We also had Mitakeumi versus Endo, and if Mitakeumi won that match, he would face the winner of the Takakeisho versus Okinoumi match. So Mitakeumi kind of at a disadvantage there, never had an outright shot to win the Yusho just in regulation. Only Takakeisho or Okinoumi had that chance.
Yeah, because either of those guys could have only had 1 match and sealed the deal. Mitakeumi, no matter what, came into the day knowing he had to win 2 matches in a row against top competition if he wanted to take it.
Yeah. So that match, Takakeisho versus Okinoumi, went Takakeisho's way. Not really a competitive match. And Mitakeumi was able to defeat Endo. Once again, not a competitive match. He just railroaded Endo right out of the dohyo. And so we ended up with our first playoff since Aki 2017, which was Goedo versus Harimafuji. And as I said before, the first ever playoff between 2 Sekiwake. And both of these guys were going for their second career Yusho. Mitakeumi won his first in Nagoya last year, and Takakeisho won his first in Kyushu of last year. So both of them getting it would have gotten it within about a year's time. And in the playoff, Takakeisho quickly goes to pull down Mitakeumi, goes for Hitaki Komi, but the big fundamental, Mitakeumi, does not go down. He's able to maintain his balance and push Takakeisho out and win the Yusho in what was very anticlimactic kind of match.
We're going to make that nickname stick.
The big fundamental.
The big fundamental.
I'm hoping so.
Who's
has
the
good
basketball
fundamentals.
player? I think we talked about this before.
Tim Duncan.
Thank you. I was brain farting on that.
Is he called the big fundamental?
Tim
can
Duncan?
make it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was.
Okay.
Very good.
I believe you.
We're not making that part up.
What I liked about this playoff compared to the one that we saw in the past was Goedo Harimafuji was the last match of the basho. So it was back-to-back, one right after another. As soon as the winner was decided, they went back to their corners, didn't have any time to relax, just came out swinging a couple minutes later. For this one, they had to wait. So they had to go in. The hairstylists had to redo their chonmage. They had to sit there and mentally prepare. And we actually got a little bit of an insight on both of them trying to center themselves and get ready. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, the drama with the matches leading up to it was kind of, the weight was kind of nice. They put some extra drama on the actual thing.
Absolutely.
Kind of took a lot of the sting out of those last matches, though. The last regulation matches.
Tochinoshin versus Goedo was the only match.
Oh,
that
it
went
was
on
only
after.
one match?
Yeah, but nobody cared.
I did not
No,
care.
no.
Absolutely nothing on the line. Tochinoshin had already had a losing record. Goedo was already out of the Yusho race as per Goedo's usual. So
And not even in the Junyo show picture, because if it's a playoff, then obviously the loser gets the Junyo show.
Exactly. Yeah.
So didn't matter to either of them for like any reason.
That math made me sad the day before. I was hoping you can at least get a Junyu show.
Nope, the legend of Goedo in
I
hockey
know.
died, Flerick.
I don't know what's going on.
You should turn on Goedo and hate him like I do because he made your dreams die.
I can't hate that guy
Why not?
because he's just
All the cool kids are doing it.
So pathetic.
All right, let's move on from talking about Goedo. Let's talk about the Yusho winner, Mitaki Yumi. So last year, he had a shot to turn his Yusho win into an Ozeki promotion, make it a part of a Ozeki run, but he wasn't able to do it. This year, do you think Mitaki Yumi can use this Yusho win as a part of a successful Ozeki run?
I think it means he's got 13 wins in this basho.
Yes.
9 in the one before.
12.
What did I? Oh, 12. Okay,
12.
so 12. Then he got.
I don't know if the playoff would count if they throw
I'm
that.
sure it would.
No.
It would have
I
to.
don't think so.
It would, you don't think so?
Nah.
Maybe it
think so, no.
counteracts the henka he had against Goedo on day 11.
Okay, all right. I can see that.
Okay. But 12 plus 9 in the previous one puts him at 21 wins, which math-wise would mean that he should probably need to get at least 12 in Kyushu if he wants an Ozeki promotion right away. Unless, he can sustain this and maybe this is the first of the 3 basho to get that promotion. Just depends on how Kyushu goes for him.
I think based off of the precedent that was set with Takakeisho, this should be the first one in the run. 9-6 record, I don't think should be the first part of
It
it.
has
I
the
would agree with
unsightly 9-6
Yeah,
record.
I think you can shove a 9-6 like in the middle of 2 great performances and kind of get away with it. There's history of that happening. I don't think you should be able to start it with a 9-6. So hopefully, like this 12-3 is the beginning of the Ozeki run, and hopefully by the end of the Hatsu basho, we're talking about Ozeki Mitaki Yumi.
If Mitaki Yumi comes out with like a stellar Kyushu, though, I think you can't have to include it though.
Maybe 14 or 13.
Maybe
I
like
could see
another
it.
Yusho or Jun Yusho, like you said, 14 or 13 or so.
I could see that.
I think.
I don't see that actually happening because you'll have a healthy Kakuryu. You should have a healthy Hakuho. You'll have a Tochinoshin trying to regain a little iffy there.
Yeah,
But
I
you'll
think
also
those
have
might
a
take more
Kadoban
time.
Takayasu and a semi-fed Goedo.
Oh, no,
So-
Goedo got 10 wins. He'll get like 3 or 4 next time.
Well, still.
He is out of the picture.
Goedo safe.
If you factor all of that in, I'm assuming at least 4 or 5 losses with that.
Yeah,
So that's still enough,
Yeah.
but
It's
not
enough to
stellar.
continue, but
Yes.
not secure it.
Right.
It's kind of similar to his last Yusho where a lot of the top talent was kind of out injured.
for sure.
Exactly.
And then
exactly.
we found out what happened when they came back in, where he just got another 9-6.
So let me-
it's very possible that's probably going to happen again.
Yeah, so what happened in his last one? He went 13-2 in Nagoya 2018 when he won the Yusho. The next basho, he went 9-6 in Aki. And I know that they were saying, okay, he's got 22 wins at this point. So if in Kyushu he gets like 11 or 12, he'll still have his Ozeki promotion. But he wiped all of that away, got a 7-8 record in Kyushu. And so that's what happened the last time he won the Yusho. I expect a better performance this time, but just based on the past, I don't necessarily see him getting it.
He's somebody that I think is improving and I think he's definitely going to get Ozeki at some point. I think I agree with Mac's statement about all the guys that are above him that are favored against him heavily. However, I don't think it's any guarantee that Hakuho and Kakuryu are going to be healthy. Even Takayasu, the news sounds good, but we don't know. Takakeisho just got injured. We don't know how bad that one is yet.
That's why I didn't include him in that analysis.
And Tochinoshin,
Again,
Goedo is the
going
only
to show up.
Right. So despite the memes, Goedo is probably the only guy above him that I am pretty much thinking is like a lock for a loss. Not a lock, but like a heavily likely
Yeah.
loss.
Mitaki Yumi dominated Goedo this basho. Did you see that match?
But he'd already achieved.
It lasted barely a second.
He'd already achieved his Kachikoshi. He didn't have to prove anything. He was safe.
Oh man, if it's last day Mitaki Yumi Goedo and Goedo's at 7-7, then we may have some trouble.
The Supari are going to fly.
All right, so I got a bit of a fun fact here, doing some research in Sekiwake that won a Yusho and how many were able to turn that into a successful Ozeki run. So it looks like in history there have been 27 Sekiwake that have won a Yusho ever, and we've had like 3 of them in like the past 2 years. 22 of those Sekiwake were able to use that Yusho in a successful Ozeki run. The 5 who didn't complete the Ozeki run with that Yusho win were Tamanishiki in 1929 and Asashio in 1956. You may also know them better as the 32nd Yokozuna Tamanishiki and 46th Yokozuna Asashio. So despite them not being able to complete their Ozeki runs at that time, obviously they were able to turn that into a stellar career.
That didn't matter.
Interesting.
One of the Sekiwake who did not complete his Ozeki run was Hasegawa in 1972, and he never went above the Sekiwake rank. Another one was Mitake Yumi last year.
Hey, we know him.
And we do know him. And we know the other guy, Tamawashi, earlier this year was not able to make a Sekiwake or an Ozeki run after winning the Yusho at Sekiwake.
So really we only have, of those 27, there are really only 2 that are pretty much failures to get to Ozeki. You have the Hasegawa, and you have, presumably, Tamawashi.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's expecting an Ozeki run at 35 years old for Tamawashi.
But, if it turns out that 25 out of 27 became Ozeki, I think that makes a lot more hopeful news, I guess. I think that even if it's not right now, I do think he's gonna get it.
Yeah.
Eventually.
I think the stats are in his favor. And also, I think the matchup between Takakeisho and Mitake Yumi, it's probably going to be the last match of like Yokozuna versus Ozeki or Ozeki versus Ozeki in the future. I saw that as kind of a snapshot into the future of what matchups would be.
You think this won't be the last basho where that matchup is the very last one we see?
I don't think so. They're kind of like the top right now. They're kind of top talent of like the new people kind of coming up. So I think they're going to stick around.
Sure.
We're going to see. Of course, if they can stay healthy.
They have to stay healthy first.
Yeah.
And just a quick little note to end off that fun fact. So every Sekiwake that won a Yusho between the years 1972 and 2018 was able to turn that Yusho into an Ozeki promotion in the next basho or 2. So it was 12 in a row until Mitake Yumi couldn't do it last year.
Combo breaker.
So let's go around the table and say definitively yes or no. Is Mitake Yumi going to get his Ozeki run using this Yusho to complete it?
I think so.
Whether he's going to get Ozeki.
Ozeki run, like starting now, will he complete this Ozeki run? Not just in the future, but like in the next 2 or 3 basho, will he be Ozeki?
So he's going to be Ozeki using this basho, is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
I'm thinking so too, because the top talent is looking as weak as it ever has.
Yep. And not just like this basho week, like this year week. They've been slowly faltering.
Yeah.
I would also agree. I think that if he's going to do it, now's the time.
I need to see him get 10 wins in back-to-back bashos before I'm going to say so. So right now I'm going to say no and hold the right to change that after Kyushu.
You think he's going to party it up after the Waki Aki?
I think
he's learned at this point. He's already won a Yusho.
He's got his Yusho partying days out.
My guess is he kind of knows what to expect after a Yusho now and can probably better prepare himself for what that is going to require of him, all the duties and festivities that he's going to have to attend. And so hopefully he'll be able to better prepare for them. Because, Hakuho's won like 42, 43 of the damn things and doesn't seem to bother him in between the basho. So you learn at some point how to deal with all that crap.
For the record, Mitake Yumi hasn't gotten double digits other than his 2 Yusho wins in almost 3 years. So,
which is why I feel pretty good with my stance right now.
Well, that'll just make it
Wait.
more
Go back.
silly when you're wrong.
So in 2016, he had a couple.
3 years ago. That's what I mean.
Never mind. Continue on.
Yeah. We're good.
All right. So let's hit on all of the Ozeki. Not in that way. Just
Ryan likes to, anyways.
who likes to hit on Ozeki, Jake?
Yokozuna Ryan.
That's right, Yokozuna Ryan. Hit on
I
Ozeki.
was about to say, I didn't hear a yard.
Curses.
Yo, Takayasu, how you living? Yeah.
I be living the Kadoban life, Fleric.
Stop.
Takeyasu.
Both of you stop.
So yeah, as Takeyasu just mentioned, he is Kadoban, living that Kadoban life. He had that elbow injury at the hands of the dastardly Tamawashi, and it sounds like he needs 1 more month of treatment for that left elbow ulnar collateral ligament damage that he received.
Nice. I saw you psyching yourself up for that phrase, and you nailed it.
I absolutely nailed. Who nailed it?
You.
What's my name?
Yokozuna Ryan.
Damn straight.
But, like I didn't do it wrong. You just
I just wanted you to say it.
pronouns. Regular part of English
So yeah,
language.
Takayasu will need to get a winning record, at least 8 wins in the Kyushu Basho to maintain his Ozeki status.
Takayasu can do it.
I do believe in the Takayasu. I believe in him a lot more than some other Ozeki. But Goedo, he was able to survive the Kadoban scare for the 8th time in his career. And he got a 10-5 record, and he will continue to be safe in his Ozeki status and unremarkable as an Ozeki. And we also have Tochinoshin, who will be departing the Ozeki rank. He is going back down to Sekiwake after a brief minimum 2 basho stint at Ozeki, for he once again got back-to-back losing records as an Ozeki. He will once again have a chance to get 10 wins to regain his Ozeki rank. So we'll see if he can pull it off twice in the same year. What do you guys think? Is he going to join Tochi Azuma as the only 2 Sekiwake to use the 10-win rule twice to regain Ozeki status, or is his time as Ozeki over?
I really want him to.
Hot take there, Flurry.
Yeah. Very hot.
No matter how badly I want him to do this, I think, unfortunately, the sun has begun to set.
I think the sun began to set a while ago. I think we're reaching the twilight status right here.
I think he needs a pair of the peg legs.
It definitely couldn't hurt him at this point.
Seriously, just try peg legs. I mean, what do you have to lose?
His legs.
Say Ikyo.
Yeah, but
you need
like-
tape. You need the Ikyo tape.
Have you not seen the brace on that knee?
What? No, I'm just the tape. It's magic, man.
I think he puts like a sleeping bag around his leg.
is
I
true.
think that's how Tochinoshin stays on his feet.
But yeah, I don't think he's going to do
No,
it.
no, way.
No.
no.
I think we're on the same page there.
I will say he's benefiting the same thing Mitaki Yumi were saying. Like the top talent is definitely injured. That said, like he was definitely injured that he still couldn't regain his still couldn't get 8 wins. But if he does get healthy, he will have an easier time than if all the Okuzuna were around.
Those top guys that we're talking about, he got 9 losses, and he didn't have to face any of them but Goedo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He went 6-8 against guys ranked below him. So, yeah, I don't know how much the top talent thing's going to help him out.
It will be interesting.
I do think he had a bit of crap luck this basho because he was only 2 wins away from the winning record. One of those losses was to Abi, where he was clearly already going to win the match, and it was just a completely incidental hair pull that cost him. So that gets him to 7-8. And then the match that he lost against Tamawashi, he had Tamawashi go into the ground. If he had kept his foot up for just like a second longer, he would have beaten Tamawashi. Or the match against Miyogiryu that he lost, he just kind of lost his place in the dohyo, was trying to find his footing against the Tawara to push back against Miyogiryu and overstepped it. I mean, it's a loss, but his losses, I felt some of them were very unlucky and easily could have turned into an 8-7 record for him.
He did a lot better than I expected him to.
Especially
I will
after the
say that.
first couple of days.
Yeah, like he had a chance like going into like pretty much right up till he got obviously 8 losses, like pretty much to the end, like to get his like 8 wins.
Yeah. So Takakeisho, he has regained his Ozeki status off of his 12-3 record. That is the best record ever for an Ozeki Wake. The previous best had been an 11-4 to regain your Ozeki status. This is the 7th time in history that it has been done. And he also tore or partially tore his pectoral muscle against a person he should never face again, Mitaki Yumi, because he injures himself every time he faces Mitaki Yumi. So the diagnosis initially was pretty grim. The initial diagnosis was stated as a major tear, and they have changed that wording so that it is either just a pull or a partial tear. He has already stated that he is not going to have surgery, and I believe I saw that he is going to need 6 weeks of recovery. He's not going to participate in the Jungyo Tour, and his participation in Kyushu is questionable at best.
You know, I have a lot of recent history knowledge on pectoral injuries in sumo. I think you should tough it out.
Yeah.
I think you should change nothing and just keep wrestling forever.
That is such a hot take there, Jake. What references are you pulling from?
I don't know. The last guy that happened to was a Yokozuna. So I
Honestly,
think that's
what's
good
the
history.
worst that could happen if you just fight through a torn pectoral muscle?
You never win a sumo match again, for one, but that's not so
Yeah,
bad.
that's what I said. That doesn't sound bad.
I'm never going to win another professional sumo match, so and I think I'm okay.
That's a fair point. So what are you guys' thoughts about Takakeisho's future at Ozeki, especially with this injury in mind?
I think the next time we see him, he will be Kadoban.
Yeah, I think if it's bad enough for him to skip the Jungyo. I kind of hope that he has, he at least takes the time to make a good decision. From what we thought about his injury coming into this basho, none of us had any faith in him at the outset. So, but he clearly did very well. So it does show that like he can recover from injury. He can make that decision. He did sit out the last basho and made sure that, was the last one the one that he started and then he...
His Oyakata made him sit out.
The last one, he came in, Kadoban, and sat out, didn't even give himself a chance to maintain his Ozeki.
Right, okay. Sorry, they run together a little bit because he didn't win anything. It's just awful. But I don't know. It shows that he's paying attention to his health, and it gives me good hope that he'll do the same again.
Yeah, I'm in entire agreement. Hopefully, if he says he's not doing surgery, it sounds like that's probably the medical advice that's actually being given to him, like something that can heal with time. And so I have faith that he's willing to take the time to get healthy. So I have high hopes that eventually he's going to get Ozeki, whether or not
he already has Ozeki.
I guess
Regain
whether or
it,
not
you
he'll
mean?
keep it. I guess
If he has to sit out long enough that he loses it again.
Yeah, he's already done it once. Now it's his first basho being Ozeki. So I think he showed that he's willing to sit out however long it takes to get healed.
Yeah, I think his history of just already sitting out just shows that he's not going to take this lightly. I think Kisei no Sato tried to get back into the ring like the next basho and fight through it.
Several times. Several basho.
Yeah, as long as Takakeisho sits this out, just gives him the time that it needs. It doesn't sound like it's as bad of an injury as Kisei no Sato has. So I think they've proven in the past they're smart enough to sit this out, let it heal. He's even sat out the basho that he needed to maintain his Ozeki status, which really don't see a lot of people do. Like, I would be flabbergasted. My jaw would be on the ground if Takayasu sat out this next
Would you
basho.
sit out that basho, Ryan?
I mean, probably. I'm not very good at sumo. I'd be shocked I was in the position to maintain my Ozeki status.
Shocked, I tell you. Shocked.
Ryan's competitive where he'll like get really, really sweaty playing basketball for 5 minutes before you record a podcast. But he's not competitive in the sense that he'll like fight when his shoulder bone's not connected to his arm bone.
I can do that.
I am.
You have done that.
I have done that.
Yeah.
My competitiveness is so strong that I'm afraid of failure. And like, if I win anything, I will quit forever so I never have a chance to lose at it and avoid that pain.
That is a winning strategy, Ryan.
So yeah, I feel like I'd win.
Like I said, I'll never lose another, or I'll never win, but I'll never lose another professional sumo match either.
I would go 1-0 in my Zumo and call it a career. It's the best ever undefeated Rikshi.
Yeah, suck it, little 15-year-old trying to get into sumo.
No, you go against Hattori Zakura.
I think I could take him.
Yeah, it'd be a toss-up.
No, I don't know about that one, right?
I think I could take him.
You have probably 100 times more of a chance than against any other sumo wrestler, and it's still a toss-up.
All right, let's move on to another kind of story in this basho, and that was all of the henkas that kind of seemed to be happening in this one. There were some high-profile henkas, and so I ask everybody at this table, particularly Flaret, because we know how he feels, were there too many henkas in this basho, or were there not too many enough henkas?
Hell no.
There were plenty of henkas. I love them, and especially in high-profile, like meaningful matches too. Which
those are the sweetest. Just
great.
sublime.
Just
I'm doing like the Italian chef kiss right now. Like, oh my god,
Just to highlight
So good.
some of those henkas in the high-profile matches, we had Mitakayumi against Goedo, which Mitakayumi used to guarantee his 11th win to stay tied for the Yusho lead going into the final day. We had Chiyo Tairyu versus Takakeisho. Chiyo Tairyu used it to stop the bleeding because he had lost like 6 straight at that point, 5 or 6 straight. He used it to get his second win in the first 7 days.
Sorry to interrupt you here. And apparently also just cost Takakeisho the Yusho with it in retrospect.
He did, because he used it to get his second win to try to start a winning streak. Maybe he'll turn it around in the second half of the basho and scrap himself together at Kachikoshi. He didn't win another match after that henka, but damn it, he tried to get it started with that henka. And also Tochinoshin against Endo. He used that to get 1 win closer to regaining his Ozeki status. I'm not going to lie, I'm kind of turning on the other side of this henka argument.
Yeah.
It's too much at this point.
Oh, never mind. We thought you were coming to our side.
No. It started to be too much for me. Just fight your match.
You missed the most sublime henka, the flying henka of Chiyoshoma.
Oh,
That
on
man
day
got
15?
air.
That's a given
that
at
was
this
sweet.
point. Yeah, there's also Chiyoshoma one. I know Ishiura had a very blatant henka. There were a couple others. At this point, just how many high-profile ones there are, it's just like, I want to see these guys fight. Every once in a while, like a Tochinoshin versus Kakuryu golden gem of a henka that's just hanging there. I'm not going to deny myself a little giggle at that and enjoying that, but just at the point where you're fighting for the U show and you just take the easy way out against what is going to be your strongest competition going forward, it does cheapen it a little bit in my eyes for Mitake Yumi that he had to use the henka against Goeido to win that match.
Totally disagree.
He didn't
I would
have to. He didn't have to. He obviously can beat Goeido, but it rubbed me the wrong way, and I'm starting to turn a little bit where just, come on.
Was it not so much sweeter just to see Goeido fall to the clay?
I did laugh. I did enjoy it. Against anybody
So
else.
how can you say the victory is tainted with that? You had Goeido face down in the clay.
Well, he's getting at the concept of it, though, I think, is what he's talking about. Like,
It's not
frequency.
It's not a real match, and
But that's the thing. Like, there's frequency, but it's always different Rikshi. Like, no one usually does a henka like 2 times in a basho. except maybe
Tochinoshin's
Ishiro.
starting to get pretty.
I would say Ishiura.
I feel like it
fall in
shouldn't
that
be like
category.
Ishiura Chiyoshoma.
oh, for sure.
I feel like if you're an Ozeki Sanyaku kind of guy, it shouldn't be a once a basho sort of maneuver. It needs to be a once or twice a year sort of maneuver.
So
if
Mitake
that.
Yumi, like, when was the last time he did a henka?
That's true. I've never seen him do a henka before, and I don't absolutely hate against the guy or anything like that. It's just, if you're gonna do it in like day 1 through 5 where it doesn't matter as much.
We even saw Oyama do a henka this year.
I'm just tired of like.
That was good.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
I
It was so slow moving.
And it worked.
I know.
It worked.
it robs a high profile match of some of the drama that it deserves, and these
Adds more drama to it.
It doesn't add any drama. It takes it all away. There's no drama. It's like, and the match is over and it's done.
We're talking about it. What are you talking
I
about?
was about to
Doesn't
say,
add
this is
drama.
plenty. This is plenty.
That's controversy. I wouldn't say drama.
Yeah. Oh, it definitely wasn't.
You're right.
like-
Those are complete antonyms.
I wouldn't say it was a good fight.
Complete antonyms.
Yeah.
I didn't even say a pronoun that time.
I know. I just want you to
You're
call me by-
Yokozuna Ryan.
Thank you.
There. I would say it wasn't. I wouldn't call it a good fight. Like, it was not a good fight. I would say that. But I still stand by my stance that henkas are necessary because it just kind of changes up what they're expecting. If like Ozeki are always supposed to clash at each other, you can kind of start to mind game that, and it kind of comes down to who has the strongest tachi at the end of the day.
I don't disagree that henkas are okay in some aspects. And like I like what you're talking about, kind of that game theory. Like if you completely eliminate the henka at the top levels, you know exactly what's going to happen. And I think the mind game should be a part of it somehow, where you can kind of keep your opponent guessing. But the frequency that it happened in this basho is kind of what's
Once
getting
again,
to
I
me.
will say it's always been different Rikshi all the time. I feel like we see it a bunch of times, so we're like, oh man, there's so many henkas, but like it's still just like one Rikshi, usually a basho, or once a year, like with Mitake Yumi.
It's not like, oh, that's the guy who henkas. It's like, oh, several henkas happened from different guys this basho or
like,
something.
Yeah, with Mitake Yumi's stance was like, this guy's in Yusho race, and he's going into his toughest competition, and he
hasn't done a henka in ages.
hasn't done a henka in ages. He pulls one out and says, hey, I'm capable of this. Watch out.
So my thing is, it doesn't necessarily have to be that it's one guy doing it. This is our 13th basho that we're doing a podcast covering sumo, and it is
Ooh,
the
spooky.
This is the second one where we're like talking about henkas like in high profile matches, and it's the second in 3 bashos, which is just a little too often for me, and kind of starting to form a pattern of people seeing that as kind of the easy way out in high profile situation when they have something on the line. So I would like to see that lesson as we finish out the year and come into 2020. Just, it's okay if you're Ishiura and you need to get your 8th win to get your Kachikoshi. But if it's in the upper
Damn right,
division,
it's okay.
Yeah. If it doesn't matter.
wait a year after Tochinoshin did it against Kakuryu so that it kind of doesn't lose its luster and gleam of
Tochinoshin
being
has a
innovative and impressive.
Tochinoshin has a little baby girl he has to pay for. He's got henka all he wants.
He needs that Kensho. He needs that Kensho.
As somebody who potentially will also have a baby, I'm just thinking of my potential future, explaining the henka to my son Tochinoshin, whose middle name is
Tochinoshin Danger.
no Tochinoshin. His middle name is giving Kakuryu that henka. Poyer. I've had this planned out for
Clearly.
how many basho?
4 months.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So it sounds like I'm the only one who's starting to get a little soured on the high profile ones.
Yes.
I'd say there'd have to be like twice as many for me to get annoyed by it. This tournament, I think there were enough that it was always on my mind that it could happen, and that was entertaining to me.
It fit the theme of Aki. I mean, honestly, it truly fit the theme of Aki.
Everyone's like, there's no top guys. This could be me. What if I just do this 14 times?
I just henka.
And that's another thing. Like, if you have to use a henka 28 times in a basho to win the basho, does that really make you a top guy?
28 times?
That, if everybody's doing it, that's how many matches are going to be required in that mega playoff.
I mean, regardless of what you think of that Yusho title, they would be a legend.
I know he's going to henka. Will he henka to the left?
Surely he won't do it the 15th time.
Oh my God, he jumped straight in the air.
You can't expect him to do it again.
Oh my God, he did. He did it again.
He got me.
You're right. I've changed my mind. This is amazing.
There we go.
Well, I'll give it Kyushu. We'll see what happens in Kyushu. If we can go Kyushu without any high-profile henkas determining a Yusho or anything like that, then I might be all about them coming into the new year.
I will say the last match was still a playoff, so it still was kind of down to 1 versus 1. It did have Yusho implications, but it got us to a playoff where they had to do some good. Well, they decided to do good sumo to actually win the whole entire thing.
Yeah, I did have in the back of my mind, like, is somebody gonna do a henka here? Because
One had already been
love
burned.
it.
One had already been burned by a henka, and the other one had profited from a henka.
Ooh.
Two-match swing in favor of
Yes.
Takayumi.
What if they had both jumped to the right simultaneously?
They bonk heads and both
And then,
fall over.
and then the Gyoji disqualified them both, leaving us with a non-Yusho winner for
You
the first
both
time in
suck.
history.
Get
Yeah.
out of here.
I would say I think if they henka during the playoff, I would be a little sour about that.
Okay. We know the line
On
that
that topic, the oft-mentioned sumo article from 538 that I read that initially got me into sumo was partially triggered because Hakuho henked Harumafuji in the basho deciding match a few years ago.
Oh, really?
That was, do you remember?
Well,
there were-
Hakuho did it.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Do you remember? I think we discussed it at the time. There were also like articles, like not like all that serious, but people like really upset with Hakuho.
That's right.
Like, I think one of the papers used the phrase "he should fall on his sword and retire." Or
Right.
something
I
like
remember
Like,
that.
That's a little heavy for that kind of thing. But
And then
He's a heavy guy, though.
yeah, well, that's true.
my God, you're right.
Yeah.
The pieces are coming
Seems like
together.
so long ago.
All right, let's do a swift sidestep on this conversation and move on to
henka?
some other.
A henka, you might say?
That's exactly what I was going for. and
Yes,
it just
that-
kind
that
of
was the
ruined
joke.
all of the subtlety going into that.
You're welcome.
Of which there was very little subtlety.
Yokozuna Ryan's trying to make a transition.
And he failed.
Thank you,
Thanks to me.
Yeah,
Peg-eyed Pete. Peg-eyed?
Whale blubber.
Peg Eye. Just what's the next topic?
So Kakuryu had to withdraw on day 8. I think we already kind of talked about that. So our little boy, our sweet baby, infant baby boy, Enho, got his 9-6 record for the 4th time out of 5 bashos, I think. He's a 9-6 machine.
And I don't think he henkoed once.
Enho doesn't henka.
No, I love that about him.
He did once, I think, against Teritsu Yoshi or something a couple of basho ago. I seem to remember one and being taken aback oh, Enho actually did a henka. But this time, nope, no henka, just straightforward sumo and pulled out that 9-6 record. So what do we think of Enho? I think bucking all of our expectations and rising up the Makuuchi standings.
I hate to say it, but I think he just it's happened
That's what you said last time, Jake.
It keeps happening, though, that he starts
He keeps
hot.
getting away with it.
He keeps getting away with it, damn it. No, he started 5-1 in each of the 3 basho that he has been in the top division. And then he has lost 6 or 8 matches over the course of the second week and so on. I think what is happening, my hypothesis here, and clearly I suck at actual sumo technique analysis still, but I think he's probably like bringing new tricks each time. He's bringing new funky ideas in or something like that, because he always starts off hot. And then as people watch his sumo that he's using, he starts to lose more and more. And it's not necessarily the competition that gets tougher in the second week or something. The only thing I can think of that changes would be either fatigue, which probably affects everybody, give or take equally, or analyzing the technique. That's my hypothesis that I'm working with right now.
Yeah. You've mentioned a couple times that you feel like he might get figured out as time kind of goes on. I was seeing that a little bit this basho.
I would agree with you.
Like there's definitely been a couple tachiais where like whenever like they try to go out and try to beat Enho, like try to be proactive.
As if he's another equal sumo wrestler?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
like try to actually attack him. Enho is great at countering and actually getting inside and like kind of winning from there. A lot of people were kind of standing back and being reactive, say, okay, I'm just going to stand here. You try to get at me, I'm just going to win from there.
He's a reactive wrestler. If you actually watch his style, for majority of the matches where his opponent charges at him at the tachi-ai, Enho ducks low and goes for the mawashi. As soon as he gets a hold of the mawashi, that's it. That man is magic.
Oh, yeah. He's
on
like
the
an
mawashi.
8 out of 10 wins if he can get a good grip. Yeah,
But
he's
if
just
you-
so friggin' slippery.
If you can stand him up or try to face him in a pushing battle and keep Enho away from the mawashi, his odds of winning go down, which forces him to become really desperate and to try different moves that may or may not pay off, like the Kotoyuki match or the Takarafuji match. There are different matches where you can see him really get desperate for a win. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But his style of wrestling is purely reactive.
I would say the one exception, and this exception probably is, what's the phrase? Like the exception that proves the rule is
Stupid
it was
phrase.
It makes perfect sense when used correctly. It just never is. But his match against Kageyaki was one of my favorites. It wasn't like a super dramatic, exciting one, but it showed. I think I probably mentioned this on the midway.
Regular sumo?
No.
Oh.
It showed they were both at distance, and what Enho was doing was he was feinting and he was level changing. This is something that like you'd see in MMA or in like collegiate wrestling or something like that. If you fake one attack and then you go low and go for a different attack, that's kind of what he was thinking. And each time he would come in like with regular height Tsupari attacks against Kageyaki, Kageyaki's hands would go up and Enho would try and dive under for the belt. And he did that a handful of times, and it was really cool. It didn't necessarily end up leading directly to the finish, but he did beat Kageyaki in that match. I thought that was a fun one because it wasn't the normal thing where it's just him running circles around the other guy and the other guy just freaking out.
I keep waiting for somebody to just pick him up as he goes in for the mawashi, pick him up and just tombstone him.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for it. As low as he goes.
Can't do the tombstone. Your knees hit first and you lose the match.
Ooh, good point.
Okay.
Gotta give him the last
his
ride.
head going. Okay, very good.
So Tomokaze has been rising through the ranks, and this time he's finally hit that wall as he got his first career Makekoshi, only a 7-8, much to Jake's chagrin.
Yeah.
Well, you were right, Jake. It
I
wasn't
was
Makekoshi.
right about the idea, just not
You just
the,
took it too far.
not the magnitude of it.
Not far enough, Ryan.
'Cause I 100% would have taken you up on a like
on a Makekoshi Kachikoshi bet.
yeah.
Yeah.
Should have done it.
probably.
Damn. Then I would have lost slightly less badly.
But I think this is a good thing for Tomokaze. He went up against the best of the best that this basho had available.
I was about to say, hold on there.
He would have had like 6 wins or maybe even like 4 if everyone was healthy.
Well,
True.
he still went up against Kakuryu and beat him.
That's true.
Yeah.
The only guys he didn't face really were Takayasu and Hakuho. And so
Fair enough.
he's 2-0 against Yokozuna, so Hakuho is glad he dodged Tomokaze at this point.
Hakuho was afraid of that matchup.
Yeah, it was.
But I think this is a good thing for Tomokaze. We saw it with Asanoyama, that they're hitting that wall. They're not doing as well as they did once they get up into the joy. But these new guys aren't bouncing back down the Bansuke as far as somebody like Aoyama, Shodai normally would once they get up this high.
like Shodai did just now.
I was about to
And
say, hold
Aoyama
on
did
there.
just now.
Thank you, Oyama.
These guys are hanging in there, and I think that they're going to learn a lot from this basho, having gone up against a lot of the top guys with significant matches against all of the top guys. So they have a lot more experience than just like the 2 or 3 he had in the previous basho. And so he's going to be able to learn from that a lot like Asanoyama did. Probably helps Asanoyama was not concussed going into this basho, picking up 10 wins. But I think Tomokaze is going to be able to turn this into a solid performance in Kyushu. And we'll see who's healthy. Maybe we're going to be missing the top rankers again, and he's going to be facing the same competition.
Yeah. I kind of mentioned this a little bit in the midway, but I feel like Tomokaze coming out of this, he has probably a lot of relief and just kind of happiness from it, because I think he should be very, very proud of this basho. Losing record finally does suck, but it was going to happen eventually,
The pressure's gone.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The pressure is kind of gone. Like, if people kind of building you up basho after basho, is like, will he make it? Will he make it? And like after a while, like when you get up to really top, people are going to be asking about this all the time. So he ended up losing it, but 7-8, like you said, is very respectable. He's not going to be bouncing down. He's going to stick around the same time. And he has some quality. Well, he has some wins against Yokozuna at the same time.
Also beat Goedo.
And he beat Goedo as well.
Have you done your Bansuke yet, Ryan?
I have.
Do you anticipate a big drop or staying like basically right where he's at?
We'll find out when we release that episode.
I'm just curious what your thoughts are initially. Like, do we expect him this setback to basically bump him out of the joy and he'll be facing way easier guys, you think? Or
I think he's going to go up.
no?
No, he's not. He can't go up, Mac. He has 7-8 record.
Okay, then he'll stay at M3.
Get on Yokozuna Ryan's level.
No, I'd have to lower myself to that level.
Oh, burn Yokozuna Ryan. You got burned.
I mean, I know Mac doesn't listen to our Bonsuke episodes, but I was kind of hoping he knew a 7-8 would not get him a promotion.
I'm just looking at what's above him and around him.
No, we'll go into depth about how bad.
We'll assign you some homework to listen to the Bonsuke episodes.
Homework. I don't have homework anymore.
To answer your
slightly
question,
weird.
Jake, my current prediction is I have him staying exactly where he is.
Yay!
Hey.
So yeah, he's got the losing record thing done, but he's not actually suffering much of a setback.
Correct. Let's talk about Komosubi in this match that everybody on this podcast, except for me, will happily talk about, and it's Abi. And it's not that I don't enjoy Abi. It's that
Why
you
do you hate
guys,
Abi?
I don't. It's just you guys like him so much more than I do.
I don't know. I'm definitely favorable,
And I can't
towards
tell,
him, but like
it's mostly Fleric, and I can't tell.
it's
if he's-
mostly Fleric.
I can't tell if he's memeing that Abi is going to be future Yokozuna, or if he honestly
What are you
believes
talking
it. Either way, it's grating on me.
Yeah, it's possible to tell. That's the best part. Yeah. I don't know what's up with script writers this season. Like they have like great build up the one before, but they just go in a weird direction. I'm not kind of sure what the
What are you talking about?
story arc is
He's
yet.
still following along with the Pro Tech.
Yeah, but he didn't touch the Mawashi at all.
I know, it was
Yeah.
wonderful.
They totally abandoned that storyline. I think the
Exactly.
storyline they're going after here is he's going to be disillusioned and upset because he got a 9-6 record at Komosubi, and I don't think he's going to get a promotion.
This is the second straight basho where he's had a winning record, where you could easily hold that against him and say that he should have had a losing record, because this one, he had that Fusen win over Hakuho, which, albeit he's got a 50% winning percentage against Hakuho
That's
in a
damn
total
good.
of 2 matches.
That's damn good.
But I think if there was a healthy Hakuho, I think we can probably pretty safely chalk that up as a loss for Abi, putting him down to 8-7, which is still a winning record. But then we also have to remember he only beat Tochinoshin because Tochinoshin accidentally pulled his hair as Abi was already going down to the ground. So this 9-6 record for Abi is very deceiving, I feel like, and could easily have been a 7-8. And yeah, I'm with Jake that I do not see any way that he gets rewarded with a jump up to Sekiwake.
You don't think so?
No,
don't
because
they
Tochinoshin's coming down.
Well, don't they typically make an exception for 3 Sekiwakis?
Why don't they listen to our Bonsuke prediction
I don't know.
episodes?
I don't know. When
Normally-
they do that,
No, that won't work.
when they do that, the time that we have seen that happen was because there were 2 Sekiwake that had winning records, so they can't demote those guys. So when they demoted an Ozeki down, they added a third one,
Right.
a third Sekiwaki slot.
Or
but here,
Thank you, Jake. You know a lot about Bonsuke.
I am an expert. I have interviewed.
He sits with
one
the
of
best.
the most renowned experts in Iowa on Bonsuke's. I interview this guy a lot, so I'm really an expert as well.
There we go.
But no, in
that
this
was
case,
some good knowledge. Yeah, I did not think it worked that way.
in this case, we have a Sekiwaki and an Ozeki who are just swapping spots So there isn't a slot open for Abi to move up into.
So they're keeping my boy Abi down, is what you're telling me.
Correct. And that would make a good anime plot point. So I don't think your theory's busted by any
That's what I
means.
mean. No. This is still a protag. This is still the protag plot.
For sure.
For sure. I'm with Fleric here. I'm buying into the theory. I'm not saying that I'm quite as high on Abi overall as Fleric is, but
Do we actually
theory,
know how high
yeah.
Fleric is on Abi? Or
I
is
think
he
he's bombed out of his gourd on Abi. I think he's super high. He's tripping balls on Abi.
I think it started off as a troll, but he's enjoying it so much that he genuinely
Totally.
has fallen in love with Abi.
It's true. I do love Abi. But no, that's not the case at all.
All right, what else do you guys want to talk about?
No, I'm good.
I'm fine.
I think we hit pretty much all the major storylines, and we.
That is right. Before we move on, Shimano Umi 5 and 10. All right, Juryo Yusho winners and below. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We get like post after post on Twitter, comment after comment. It's like, you guys need more Shimano Umi talk. I'm gonna turn off your podcast if we don't get some Shimano Umi
Okay,
talk.
now remind me, who is Shimano Umi?
I don't even remember.
Yeah,
You should just
exactly,
respond with
like, who's this?
K. No, he wears a silver mawashi, I know, and he hasn't been around long enough for me to like be able to picture what he looks like otherwise.
And that's what I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
As far as I know, he's a sumo wrestler. So the Juryo Yusho winner
Good bet.
is Ikioi. Ikioi picking up his second career Juryo Yusho and is officially not dead yet.
He he graduated to a new, sturdier form of duct tape.
Yeah.
And in more not quite dead yet news, the Makushita Yusho went to Chiyo no Kuni.
Oh my God, he's alive!
Yeah. He's back after being out the previous 3 bashos, dropping from Maegashira ranks down to Makushita. And he beat, speaking of not dead yet, Terano Fuji with the Yusho on the line. They were both 6-0. The only 2 6-0 guys, so they had a match against each other. Chiyo no Kuni was able to win that match and take the Makushita Yusho.
Chiyo no Kuni beat a former Ozeki.
I'm sure he's gotten, I think Chiyo no Kuni has Keen Boshi. Jake, do some research. Figure out if Chiyo no Kuni has a Keen Boshi.
Yes, Yokozuna Ryan. I shall obey.
My little And as a quick little bonus,
I'm never losing this again. I hate you people.
as a quick little bonus,
Yes, he has a Kinboshi.
Oh, nice. Who was it against? Do some more research. As a bonus fun fact, both Ikioi
Sorry to keep interrupting you. Oh, I'm not there yet. I was just
Right there.
You were just being real mean.
I was.
He went 2-13
Oh my God.
in Natsu 2017, including a win over Kakuryu.
Attaboy.
God, I hope it was a henka.
So back to that bonus fun fact. As doing
Sorry
research,
to interrupt you,
no,
Yokozuna Ryan.
both Ikioi and Chiyo no Kuni won a Juryo Yusho in their very first career basho as a Sekitori, which I found very impressive and interesting.
That's pretty cool.
And Ikioi has done it again in the twilight years of his career.
Yes.
In the very last basho as a Sekitori.
Going out on top. The Sandanme Yusho went to Sadano Hikari. He is a Mongolian that's been hovering around the Sandanme ranks since about 2015. In Jonidan, we had Moto Bayashi. This is his second career basho and his second career Yusho. He won the Jonokuchi Yusho in his previous basho in that 3-way playoff against 3 guys in the Naruto Beya.
Hell yeah.
And
oh no. I like those guys. I like people in Naruto Beya.
oh, there you go. Moto Bayashi. He's 14-0 to start his career.
Hey, awesome.
Jonokuchi Yusho went to Murata. He has made it all the way up to Makushita 1 before, and then he got injured, and this is his first full basho back since being at the very tip top of the Makushita rankings. So it looks like he's going to be beginning his fight back to try to get into Juryo, which he was so close to.
And he is still relatively young. That injury happened. He'd only been wrestling for about a year and a half, it looks like, and then has spent about that long out with injury.
And this
So
is
he's still only 25.
And this is actually his first turn down in the Jonidan and Jonokuchi ranks because he had a Sandanme Tsukedashi. So he started his career in Sandanme.
He is literally at a lower rank than when he started sumo.
Injuries are a bitch.
All right, so let's make a very tough transition here as we go into some news items, as unfortunately Kakuryu's Oyakata, Izutsu Oyakata, passed away mid-basho from pancreatic cancer. It sounds like this has been something he's been suffering from for a little while, and I believe he was hospitalized for the entirety of the Kyushu Basho. So very unfortunate news for Kakuryu, Izutsu Oyakata's family, and the rest of the Izutsu, well, I guess former Izutsu Beya, as that Heya is going to be joining the Michinoku Beya, most commonly known for the Michinoku driver, which is a very popular finishing move in professional wrestling.
Yeah, that's what they named the stable after.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a very popular move in Japan.
Yeah. Actually, what they wanted to do, they wanted to move Kakuryu and the two other stable mates to Shikuroyama Beya, which belongs to Izutsu Oyakata's brother, Shikuroyama Oyakata. But the problem is Izutsu Beya was in the Tokitsukaze Ichiman, and Shikuroyama is in the Nishonoseki Ichiman, and both of those Ichimans objected to having Kakuryu moving from Tokitsukaze to Nishonoseki, which I kind of understand Tokitsukaze saying, "Hey, no, let's hold on to
Just a
that
minute there, just a
Yokozuna.
minute."
I'd like to keep him, please."
I want that Yokozuna money to my Heya.
I wonder if part of it is if you've spent your entire sumo career training against the same Ichiman, the same stable of guys that sometimes visit each other for cross-training. I wonder if they don't like it to have somebody at a high level switch and bring all that experience that they have, like all those training secrets or anything like that. Maybe that's part of the motivation as well. I don't know.
Secret training
I will
techniques.
show you.
Yeah, I just think there's got to be something more to it that I'm unaware of that they would use to deny, these guys moving to the stable of their longtime coach's brother. Because that seems poetic. That seems like something, that they'd want to do. It may be somebody that they know anyway.
And it sounds like it's something they had discussed in the past when they knew Izutsu Oyakata had some of these health issues. It's something that they discussed doing in the past, but it doesn't look like that's going to be able to happen.
Yeah, I think you're kind of onto something. Probably having a Yokozuna to practice against, or just kind of a leadership kind of role, kind of around in the Ichiman.
Because the rest of the Heias in that Ichiman know and train with Kakuryu.
Exactly. That's great for recruiting. It's great for just kind of training at the same time. And I think there's also a monetary thing too. Like I was kind of meaning to, like Yokozuna get paid more money, and it gets like paid to the Ichiman, and they dole out to the Heias specifically. So,
all right, Jake, I am going to hand off the other news items now to you because I'm going to do some quick research on Twitter to find some quotes from Kakuryu that I had not prepared.
Oh, buddy.
As your cat just freaked out about something. I have no idea
it was
what
a
that
failed
was.
jump into the window.
He tried to jump up to the windowsill, but just blew it.
yeah,
Poor guy.
he's kind of walking
He's got
away.
a little heft to his
We got
step.
since Yokozuna Ryan has graced me with these last two news items, of which I'm honored to deliver. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So where are we taking this bus?
Peg-eyed Pete.
We're taking it some weird places.
Oh yeah, I like it.
Musashi Kuni, I believe nephew of former Yokozuna Musashi Maru, is retiring. He's mid-20s. He's been around for a little while, hovering around the Makushita ranks, Sandanmai ranks occasionally, but he had an injury that apparently was bad enough that it's not worth sticking around.
Apparently a broken ankle from the last basho.
Ooh.
Yeah, so when we actually, the exact day that we were visiting Sumo in Nagoya, I think was the day that he pulled out of that tournament.
Oh man.
You remember that? We went across the arena to steal some seats way up close so we could watch his match. And then we see the Yobidashi standing in the tunnel with
I do remember that.
The flag that they used to announce that somebody's pulled out.
That was super sad.
Yeah.
And I was laughing from my seat because I was like, I got all the cushions to myself. Bastard. Good.
Lots of room.
But yeah, so that must have been right when it happened then. I didn't put that together till just now.
He has not competed since then.
But he had his own mini retirement ceremony in the stable. I think there's some pictures on Twitter of Musashi Maru doing the hair snipping, taking the top knot off. We also have some news on the Taka twins, the guys who just cannot help treating their Tsukebitos poorly.
I could save you from this, Jake. I have found.
Was that what you're looking up?
Yeah. I found the Kakuryu quotes from after Izutsu Oyakata's wake that I was looking up.
Oh yeah. Go for it.
Takagenji.
Go for it before we get into
I'll also get this.
Okay.
So Kakuryu responded to the press after the wake. This is all from @sumo follower on Twitter, who is so great at knowing Japanese and interpreting and letting us know all of the news that come out of the Japanese outlets. So Kakaryu said, it was so sudden, I didn't think he would die. I wanted to talk to him some more. Last talk we had was after Nagoya when I was heading for the Jungyo by phone. I couldn't speak with him after that. I regret that. I wanted to talk with him some more. Last we met was on Nagoya Senshuraku. Come to think of it, it was a good filial piety. I don't know what that means.
Piety?
Piety, yeah. I wasn't there when he died. They say he died painlessly in his sleep. He was both tough and gentle. I angered many times. He agonized over my losses more than I did. He had that much hope and love for me. I'll keep the memories of what he taught me in my heart going forward.
Filial piety is like respect for your parents.
Okay, thank you. If I talk about the time I came from Mongolia, thin-bodied, I'll never finish. He forged my mental strength. Thanks to that, I think, I have been able to become Yokozuna. Memorable words? There were many. I wanted to have some more advice from him. I really didn't think he would die so soon. He mentioned
Yikes! That sounds like he must have gone downhill really quickly.
Yeah, somebody mentioned like the photo that they showed of Izutsu Oyakata at his memorial. Kakaryu said it's a good photo, vigorous from a younger age. Thinking that he is still there, I can't believe it. My parents bore me, but Izutsu Oyakata brought me up.
Oh, holy cow!
Wow.
Apparently we are
feels.
Yeah. Apparently we are doing the wake in the Heya because the Oyakata said, "I want to go back to the Heya quickly. I feel lightheaded and I can't believe it, honestly." And that was the end of his quote.
Was that one of the Heias that we walked past?
I think, we found Izutsu.
That's like right in the middle of Ryogoku, like right within walking range of everything else. That one.
We were there. We saw it.
Yikes.
Yeah, and so that...
I feel like we're tooting our own horns pretty good, but like that, that just definitely makes it hit that much more that, that's a place that we have physically been before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it really makes you feel for Kakaryu. He obviously deeply cared for Izutsu Oyakata, saying that he basically raised him and turned him into the man that he is.
Wow.
All right. So, Jake, you were talking about the Taka twins and how we have some updates on their chicanery.
Taka twin douchebaggery, activate!
I mean, I was starting it, but only because you were on your phone looking for that. I don't actually know much about this other than what we discussed before the podcast.
Yeah. So, everybody knows about Takano Fuji and how he has pulled out of this basho for some bad behavior towards his... Tsukebito. It sounds like he punched his Tsukebito or something similar to that recently. And so the verdict from the Japan Sumo Association is recommendation to retire, but it sounds like there was a kicker of they're going to leave it up to him. And Takano Fuji has said that this is an unacceptable punishment for this, and he's going to be fighting it. And I believe there's going to be a press conference tomorrow for it.
Didn't his Oyakata dock his pay too?
Chikanoura Oyakata, poor Chikanoura Oyakata, who just kind of accepted the Taka twins and Taka Keisho.
So he's getting drama from all angles of all different types.
From the now defunct Takano Hana stable, is getting more than a handful with some of his new deshi.
It sounds like they had 4. Now that I have my article back in front of me and I can talk in an educated fashion about this, particularly that stable got 4 new recruits recently, and Takano Fuji's just being a jackass to him. Like he's just not necessarily being very inviting. He's bullying them and as a group and calling them names.
That's Taka Genji.
Oh no, that's both of them. That's
both of them.
Yeah, and Taka Genji, his twin, who is for the most part much less troubled, I guess you'd say, by scandals like this.
As far as we knew before this, he wasn't as far as we knew before this. Tsukebito,
but Takano Fuji, the difference here is he's taken it farther, and there has been at least one incident since the last incident of punching a dude in the head and like visibly leaving injuries that that stuck around. That's definitely unacceptable.
Yeah, and the Sumo Association has made it very clear that they're not going to accept this sort of behavior. Any physical violence in like the name of teaching your Tsukebito a lesson is not going to be acceptable at this point. And Taka Genji's behavior, he never attacked, like he had 4 Tsukebito that he was kind of targeting, and he never attacked the 4 guys physically, but if one guy messed up, didn't greet him the proper way, he would punish all of them, force them to do push-ups. He threatened violence against them, but it doesn't sound like he actually ever did any violence against them. But this has come out recently because 3 Rikshi ran away from the Chiga no Ura stable, and people thought that this was associated with Taka no Fuji. It was actually associated with Taka Genji. And so because of this incident, Taka Genji has been reprimanded by the Japan Sumo Association. He isn't going to receive any more punishment at this time since it is his first official reprimand and punishment. And he said he's never going to do it again. So, I mean, there you go.
So there you have it.
I bet Taka no
reformed.
Fuji also said he was never going to do it again.
Yeah, what about Taka Noiwa?
He's gone. He's retired because he beat up Hitsuke Bito.
After he had been allegedly beaten.
I wonder if there's anything we can learn from that.
I don't. Well, anybody with Taka at the first part of their name,
Yeah.
you
Hold
gotta
on.
watch out for them.
Don't lump Taka Keisho. God, I hope Taka Keisho's not involved in any of this, and we just haven't heard about
My
it
heart
yet.
could not
Fingers
help.
crossed.
My heart could not take it if Takayasu was involved. I know he's a separate stable and all that, but yeah, that would do it. That would hurt.
But yeah, the Taka twins aren't making a whole lot of fans for themselves, and just it's tough in sumo because this is how all the Oyakatas were raised in sumo.
Yeah.
But things are changing. The Japan Sumo Association is trying to change things. They've done a pretty good first step in instituting a no tolerance policy for this stuff. But these guys need to quickly learn that this behavior isn't acceptable anymore. It doesn't matter that that's the way it always been. It doesn't matter that it's a violent sport. There's other ways to try to teach, to try to raise the... Because, I mean, some of these kids are like 15 years old, so you're kind of raising them a little bit, but you don't have to do it with violence. You don't have to do it with fear. There's a lot better ways to do it. So figure that out, guys, and just stop being stupid.
Get your shit together.
Yeah, there's the counter argument, of course, is that's the way it's always been. That's what produces the strongest wrestlers and things like that. But like, you don't have to do that. Like, you don't
know.
just for the sake of like all the of certain wrestlers being better by scaring away the people who were like reasonable humans and didn't want to like give up everything for their sport. I don't know. I'm not going to say I can understand both sides of the argument, but I can at least see the motivation for taking that opposite stance. Even I strongly disagree that kind of stuff is necessary or even a good idea to try and elevate the sport.
Yeah, and to be fair to the situation that we don't need to be fair to, in my opinion, it is a completely different culture from ours, and so we're coming at it from a completely different viewpoint. But still, I don't know that in any culture that should be acceptable.
Well, part of our culture as Americans is to tell other cultures that they're incorrect.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we're up here on our high horse, and so we can look down upon everybody and tell them exactly what to do.
like literally in America, everyone has a horse.
Yeah. We're riding it right now.
Yeah.
We're literally out on the streets recording a podcast on the backs of our horses. Very, very high horses. So with that, we're gonna close the serious portion of our podcast and move on to some more fun stuff, like Jake calling me Yokozuna Ryan. a lot more.
Yokozuna Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just talked about high horses, and that's where it's gonna be not serious anymore.
No, clearly.
Okay, well,
What is not serious about my high horse?
no, it's completely serious. You're entirely right.
This is very serious.
His name is
It's totally serious.
his name is Jumbo, and I love him.
but it's kind of silly.
It is silly.
Yeah, like Jumbo. Come on.
Jumbo, the high horse.
Yeah, you want to call him like
Stilts.
Gimpy.
I hope you know I'm not cutting a second of this.
I was literally just about to say, I hope you cut everything after I went, yeah.
No.
Incorrect.
No. This week, the young and the wrestlers go to the beach.
I'm so happy we finally got away from the dojo to relax for a day.
I wish I could relax, but I have forgotten my towel.
You mean this towel?
The very same.
Nani?
How does my two-piece mawashi fit?
I can't tell. Lift up your gut.
There it is.
Would you be able to put some sunscreen on my back?
I would be happy to.
Kisei no Sato!
Nani?
I'm afraid you will not be happy with the result, for this sunscreen is SPF 15.
Nani?
Curses! My porcelain skin will turn as red as Onosho's mawashi.
Not if I can help it.
Tamawashi.
Got any elbows on this beach?
Not if I can help it.
And ho!
You guys, I'm still here.
Nobody cares, buddy, for I, the adorable Enho in a Speedo, am here.
I want a you show, you know.
Nobody cares, you jerk.
I'll show you elbows. I'll break them.
I'm going to edit it there because I want to, not because you told me.
Fair enough. Welcome back. We're going to jump right into our prediction results where, as you may have guessed it, because I blatantly told you at the top of the show, I win! I'm the Grest.
Grest? Clearly not at English.
I am the greatest and the best, also commonly known as the Grest. I did say that on purpose. Leave it in, Jake, because that is what I meant to say.
Not a chance.
Everybody
I will cut that out.
will refer to me as the Grest from now on.
You're the
because
Grest. Hooray!
I'm owning it and making it mine. So yes, I won this basho because as I said, I am the Grest. Another little bonus fun fact: Yokozuna Ryan has won every other prediction series since Aki of 2018. So that is 4 out of 7. You plebes need to work on your stuff.
Well, I spent enough time working on the punishment that I feel like I have made up for it.
Yeah.
So some people,
I tried to pick Guaido. I don't know what went wrong.
some people at home may be wondering how we got to this point and want to know in very
Not
precise,
very many people, though.
very
Say no,
precise
probably
detail how Ryan the Grest, is that what I said? Graced?
Grest.
Grest. The Grest
He can't even remember.
won again. The best and the greatest. The Grest.
Just move on.
It's because of the myriad of bets that we made
so true.
during the preview and midway episodes. And so we're just going to go through those bets just so everybody knows how we ended up on them. So Jake bet the three of us that Tomokaze was going to get 6 wins or less because he felt so strongly that Tomokaze was going to get a Makekoshi. And Jake was correct.
Damn it, I was so close.
You were not correct enough. Therefore, myself, Flarik, and Mac all picked up an extra bonus point, and Jake lost one.
Sweet points.
Mac also bet that Hakuho would be Kyujo at some point in this basho, which Jake took him up on. Mac won that. Jake lost.
Day 2.
Quick point on that. I would submit that Hakuho only entered the tournament for 1 day because he wanted his tiny boy Doyo Iri. He wanted to do the ring entrance with
did.
Ishiura and Enho. He got it, and he's like, that'll do it.
And then he broke his finger on purpose so that he could leave.
And he got me my point.
That is so Hakuho.
Thank you, Hakuho.
Moving
Thank
on.
you.
It's a professional move. He broke on purpose.
I also
Veteran.
bet Flarik that Abi would have either no belt wins or 1 belt win this basho, and Abi had no belt wins, making me the winner of that bet and Flarik the loser.
I'm so glad I didn't jump in on that.
You were really feeling belt wins?
I was actually feeling belt wins.
He tried it like a couple times, but like it just didn't work out.
Did he?
Well, I think it was he
touched-
Asanoyama one.
He touched 1 Mawashi and then promptly lost.
That's pretty dang close. That's pretty dang close.
Had he only won that match 2 times in a row, then that would have been 2.
Jake also bet Flarik during the midway that Okinomi would get 11 wins or less. That is one that Jake got correct and Flarik lost.
Bastard.
And then Jake and I...
So what you're saying is that for 2 out of the 3, I had the right idea. I just had some of my numbers wrong.
And then kind of a spur of the moment thing, Jake and I are a part of the Discord server Road to Yokozuna, which is kind of a sumo role-playing game, and we happened to get matched up against each other to have a match mid-basho, and so we bet a prediction point on it, and of course, who won that match, Jake?
Yokozuna Ryan did.
Damn straight Yokozuna Ryan won that.
Meizumo Goshobayama.
Yeah, still.
Nah. I would like to add that had these bets not been possible, I would have lost.
That is very true.
We had to do something to break the tradition, Mac.
Yes.
And in fact, Jake, you and I would have tied for the lead, and knowing us, there was no way we were going to be co-winners.
Actually,
Oh,
you
yeah.
wouldn't have.
Really?
Ryan had the tiebreaker.
I'm the Grestest!
I thought we both had the tiebreaker.
Nope.
No,
You
I
didn't have the tiebreaker. Ryan did.
Oh, Ryan and Flarik had the tiebreaker.
Correct.
Flarik's tiebreaker is why I am the loser and he is not.
Correct.
I'm
And-
so much better than you. It's
All of that is just a long preamble to the payoff, the punishment, where Jake had to write a Shakespearean monologue about sumo in iambic pentameter, which, Jake, in your research, what I don't think iambic pentameter is singing.
I'm warm. I may have made some mistakes.
What was that? Not a tune to Lady Gaga's "Born This Way"?
That's part of my warm-up.
Well, speak the speech, Jake. I pray you.
But before you get into it, in your research, because I'm sure you had no idea what iambic pentameter
I
was.
absolutely did. I suggested this punishment.
All right, what the hell is iambic pentameter?
Iambic refers to the rhythm of it. There's a non-stressed syllable and then a stressed syllable.
Like Christopher Walken's speech.
No, more like it's a repeating pattern of two syllables where one syllable is less stressed and one is more stressed. So like the very first sentence of my poem here, woe is me, or I kind of...
Did you already mess up?
No, I left off one syllable for the beginning because it made the rhythm work better.
I'm still getting Christopher
But like
Walken.
the phrase, I've lost, is how my first line ends.
Okay.
So I've is kind of less stressed. Lost is stronger stressed. I've lost. Pentameter means each line is 5 of those. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. So it's that kind of rhythm repeated, and I picked a rhyme scheme just so it sounded more Shakespearean.
So what I'm getting from this is it's a very good thing Flarik or I did not lose this because we do not have the patience for this.
Nope. I'm actually kind of sad I lost this. This would have been fun.
You guys are the worst
had
losers.
no fun.
Aw.
I absolutely viewed this as a punishment. English, and in particular poetry, has always been like the number one weakest school topic for me.
I've always loved
Despite
poetry.
knowing the definition of iambic pentameter, I guess.
All right, that's enough preamble. Jake, get on with the punishment.
Okay.
Oh, he's got his skull.
Yes.
My Hamlet skull.
I was going to say Othello.
No.
Pretty sure it's Hamlet.
It's
Okay, I suck at English. Am I the only one who actually went to it, though, out of you
Hamlet.
three?
No, it's Hamlet.
Isn't that what I said?
Yes.
Okay.
He said Othello.
We only
Okay.
studied Romeo and Juliet, and there was no way in hell I was going to do like free reading on
No.
Shakespeare stuff.
Dude, Jake, just go. This is hurting my brain.
Woe is me, as once again I've lost. Away from me yon foolish wagers fell, and though I knew such bets bore heavy cost, I plunged ahead, now dwell in karmic hell. Since Tomokaze failed but only just, and placing bets on discord games seemed fun, and Hakuho's poor arm is still a bust, this discipline is what I've rightly won. I wish we drew that punishment that meant I could eat some spicy sushi and pretend that life was hard and pain could I invent. But no, it's poems, an apt and brutal end. So shall we ponder Aki's matches yet? Without a Yokozuna to compete, conclusions that we draw may not be met. But lo, there are more stanzas to complete. Mitakayumi's name can kind of flow, so in iambic tempo shall it verse. But Takakeisho's rhythm's quite a chore, and Okinonomi's clearly even worse. But since these three won most their bouts this month, and forced that playoff drama that we saw, I quite forgot that nothing rhymes with month. I feel this topic's born its final straw. So rhyme I shall with easier shikonas, like Enho, Abi, Shodai, and the rest. More satisfying lyrical personas. Oh, why can't one of them just be the best? But yea, in January, fear me, rubes. And yes, I'm aware after writing this that there is also still a tournament in November.
Yes, I was about to say.
But yea, in January, fear me, rubes, for stupid choices shall I ne'er but make. I'd rather beat you simple, silly boobs than prophesy the hottest of the takes. So thus we end my sad defeat and shame. Your mighty picks make mine look meek and tame. But for one final vengeance we have time, a jarring and unsatisfyingly arrhythmic final rhyme.
God damn you.
Well, claps. You kept it in tempo. You held true to the pentameter. Well done.
You used rubes, which is a very underutilized insult.
A plus
No,
word.
well
right
done.
there.
Seriously, well done. Well done.
And that reaction to the rhythm at the end, Ryan, from you is everything I could have hoped for.
What's my name?
Yokozuna Ryan.
You're goddamn right.
You took it back from me.
Yarr.
Let's get the rest of this crap out of the way.
Can I get one Yokozuna Ryan, the Grest?
That is not part of the deal.
But can I get it
So
anyways?
you owe me. Yokozuna Ryan, you are the Grest.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to some more fun facts. All right. We had some conversation with our friend Huata. We were talking about
What's an exaggerated H?
we were talking after day 13 about how we could possibly get to an 8 or 9 man playoff.
And it almost happened.
I mean, it was only 2, so let's not go overboard, Mac.
No,
It almost happened.
Almost. Thank you. You took the words out of my mouth.
But we did find out through that conversation how some multi-man playoffs would work. I think we've talked about a 3-man playoff, how it would just be a round robin that goes until a person has won 2 matches in a row. 4-person playoff is pretty easy. You're going to have 2 matches, and then the winner of those 2 matches is going to face off against each other. And then what happens in a 5-person playoff? And so what happens in a 5-person playoff, it's easier if we're going to put names to it. So we're going to put Takakeisho, Mitakayumi, Okinoomi, Meisei, and Tsurugisho in this scenario because they're the 5 guys that I remembered off the top of my head that were in this
much
Yusho
easier
race.
that way. Thank you.
So you would have a scenario where like Takakeisho would fight Mitake, and all this is done at random. So
Yeah, they just draw lots to determine who gets which
so it'd be
slot.
like Mitakayumi fights Takakeisho, and then you would have Tsurugisho fight Okinoomi. And then Meisei, he got the lucky lot. He doesn't have to fight anybody. And so then you're down to 3 because you've eliminated 2 people. And then they have like a 3-person round robin between those 3 until somebody wins. And that is actually called a Tomoe-sen, is a round robin of 3 Yudishi. And so what happens if we go even further? What if we have a 6-person playoff? And so a 6-person playoff, you do like Takakeisho, Okinoomi, Mitakayumi, Meisei, Tsurugisho versus Hakuho.
You have 3 matches, give you 3 winners, then you do the 3.
Tomoe-sen.
Gotcha.
And then if it's a 7-person playoff, you get a knockout tournament style with one of the 7 receiving a bye.
Okay, because after the first, you'd have 3 matches, which eliminates 3 guys. Then you're down to 4.
Yep.
Because 1 guy gets a bye, and then it's just single elimination.
Yep.
And I'm sure for 8, they probably just do
8.
single elimination.
Yep, you would have, exactly. And then, let's
How
see.
high can we go?
So between 9 and 12, you do knockouts until you get down, knockout matches until you get to 5 or 6 rikishi, and then you do the scenario for 5 or 6 rikishi, so you get down to your 3-person round robin. So it's either you have enough people so you have just a straight knockout tournament, so like 4, 8, 16, which 16-person playoff. Let's cross our fingers for that next basho.
Ooh. That's
Or-
just another basho.
Or you get it down to where you have a Tomoe-sen of a 3-person round robin. So that is how
Neat.
playoffs will work someday in the future. Please, for the love of God, I want a more than 2-person playoff.
God, that'd be cool.
All right, do we have any more fun facts?
Yes. Would you like to know what they are?
I would.
I looked into Mitakayumi a little bit more. As our Yusho winner, he has spent a ass load of time in the Sanyaku ranks without getting 2 Ozeki or without getting bumped out of the...
Which for him is a lot.
What is
when we're talking sumo.
what is the conversion factor on years to ass loads?
For Mitakayumi, it's almost 3 years. Yeah, he has spent the 17 total, or currently 16 in a row, as Sekiwake or Komusubi. That is ridiculous. He has, in his entire career, spent 11 tournaments not being Sekiwake or Komusubi.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, 1.5 times as much time in those 2 ranks as everywhere else. He began his career with the Makushita Tsukedashi. He did well enough in college that he got bumped right into the upper Makushita ranks.
Oh, I guess I didn't realize you could get straight to Makusha. I thought Sandanme was the best you could do.
Oh, yeah, there's 2 levels of it, yeah.
I did not realize that.
So he spent 2 basho in Makushita. He went 6-1 in both of them. Then he went 11-4 and 12-3 in Juryo. And in his 5th basho ever, he was a Megashira. And yeah, he rocketed right up, hit Komusubi. This is right in the like the year before we started podcasting here. And I think literally since we've started podcasting. Yeah, so the September of 2017, our first basho that we were podcasting for was his 2nd tournament as a Sekiwake, and he's been there since, except for looks like 2 separate dips down to Komusubi.
Mm-hmm.
Just ridiculous that he's been there for that long. But a completely random coincidence, I came across Musoyama. He was a wrestler in the 90s and early 2000s who had an awfully similar career trajectory, and I thought it was just kind of startlingly similar. He got Makushita Tsukedashi, he went 7-0 in his 2 basho in Makushita. But still only spent 2 there. Then he spent 2 basho in Juryo. Then he rocketed up through the Megashira rankings to Sekiwake and Komusubi. He didn't have quite as long of an unbroken streak as Mitakeumi. I think his longest version was like 14, but he spent, give or take, 5 years in this spot. So like if Mitakeumi stays there for another 2 years, then he'd be in this same position. But eventually, around 2000, so after he had been hovering at Sekiwake or so for about 5+ years, Musoyama finally made the turn and got to Ozeki. Came off the back of a 10-5, a 13-2 Yusho, and a 12-3 Jun Yusho. So obviously
solid.
better. That's a better run than Mitakeumi's had, obviously because Mitakeumi's not an Ozeki yet. But after that, he had mixed success, and he never got anything better than one more Jun Yusho in his career. So really, really similar career trajectory. He did have, Musoyama had 1 Yusho, and that was before he became an Ozeki. He was, he got another, like I said, during that Ozeki run as a Sekiwake. So very similar to Mitakeumi there.
Interesting. Which years was he kind of around the Sekiwake and Komusubi?
The latter half of the 90s.
Latter half of the 90s.
And then the first couple years of the 2000s, he was in Ozeki.
So that sounds very similar to some very long like goats of Takanohana and Wakanohana and
Akebono, Musashi Maru.
Those were the big dogs at that time. Yeah.
They were kind of twilighting at the end of the 90s, so it's kind of similar. He was around that area, and he jumped up to Ozeki.
When he made that Ozeki run, those guys were all kind of in the
Yeah.
twilight.
So
And
once-
then he never went any further because Asashoryu won the rest of the tournaments forever.
Yeah. So no, that once again, that's very, very eerily similar to Mitakeumi because once again, Hakuho and Kakuryu once kind of at the twilights of their careers.
Yep. I just clicked a random basho in the 2000s for Musoyama, and Asashoryu, of course.
Of
won
course it was. Why wouldn't it be?
By 2.
There you go.
Hey, look, Takakaze.
Oh, yeah. No, he was around forever.
Just prime for Abi to jump in there and just win everything.
No, that's all I had for that particular fun fact. That was just I completely by chance stumbled across Musoyama. I clicked on the wrong name and it led me down a Wikipedia hole, and I'm like, oh, this guy is exactly Mitakeumi. My God, 20 years ago.
Egad.
Let's move on to a brief moment of sunshine for Mac, the fantasy series.
I had fun with this one.
In his life of rain. Sorry, I'm still
the rain.
poetic right now.
The rain is beautiful.
But yes, Mac ended up winning our fantasy contest, and unfortunately or fortunately for us, the ultimate loser was our fantasy guest, Brendan, and he was kind enough to leave us with a parting statement. And so he says, thanks very much to the GSB crew for letting me play this basho. I'd like to take a moment to marvel at how poorly I did. I didn't just lose. I set a new standard in poor performance. Let's review some of my pre-basho statements. In his chat with us, he said that he used a computer to make his picks. And so he said that my analytical model is unbeatable prior to the basho.
Turns out, though,
he also said in just a completely different conversation that Terano Fuji is going to hit a wall in Makusha. He will finish 2-5 after Terano Fuji finished 6-1 in Makushita. He also said for his first pick, can't pass on Hakuho. Which, honestly, we would have insulted him very much if he did pass on Hakuho.
I was going to pick him next.
But I think his biggest downfall was when he decided that Shodai and Chiyotairyu were due for big tournaments as they combined for 5 total points. 5 total wins, which would net them 1 point. Total between the two of them.
And if you add Hakuho into the mix, those 3 guys got him a total of -1 point.
Exactly. And then he closes
Poor
off
Brendan.
by saying, even worse, I fear I may have cursed Takakeisho, who he also selected to his team. I'd like to apologize to the sumo world, and I pray his left pectoral muscle will enjoy a better fate than that other left pectoral muscle that we shall not name. And we've named multiple times on this podcast already, so we've already cursed Takakeisho even greater.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, thank you, Brendan. It was a good time having all the points distributed among the four of us.
Indeed.
It made us look good, except for me, who lost among our team.
Yeah, not a
great
good
work.
showing for you, Jake.
No,
I've been there, Jake. It's okay.
That's
I've
right.
been
I
there.
suppose you
It's
have.
okay. You will get it on.
Let's move on to the GSB Awards. And the first GSB award is going to be the Tochinoshin's Heel Award, which goes to Endo for his match against Okinomi on day 14.
And the explanation here is because of that Tochinoshin Asanoyama match. The one we needed the electron microscopes for, and
Clearly.
yeah,
We still to this day have no idea if Tochinoshin's heel actually hit the dirt.
No.
but we know that the
Why don't you take the next award, Jake?
the next award is the Gyoji Home You're Drunk Award. This goes to a couple different people are actually sharing this award. First and primarily is that Gyoji that just went flying off the dohyo. We already discussed this one earlier on our midway, but it's the Asa Noyama and Goedo match on day 6. The Gyoji just like barely nicks his sandal on the Tawara and just
Flies.
totally spills all over the crowd. That one was awesome. Also, the ref on day 11 in Takakeisho versus Tochinoshin. Takakeisho kind of gives Tochinoshin the Olay and allows Tochinoshin to go barreling into the ref, sending him into the second row.
But God bless him, he still had enough sense to point the Goomba.
He knew which way to point the Goomba.
That way.
Also, there was the dumbass Mata thing, is how I have it in my notes.
Yeah.
Day 9, Takagenji and Tsurugisho. The ref kind of just like half calls a Mata, but tells them to keep fighting. And
Even gestures to him.
Well,
like,
I don't
go
think
ahead.
he ever called a Mata. Like the wrestler side, oh no, that was clearly a Mata. And
because
then the
like,
Gyoji,
nobody's hands were even like close to
and then
them.
there's like 5 seconds of eye contact between all three of them, and Goji's like, just fight. We all mess this
go.
up. Just go.
Yeah, God,
And then
that
so
was stupid.
Takagenji jumps on it and pushes Tsurugisho out with like very little to no fight.
All right.
You want to take this next one?
I'll have to adjust my head, but sure thing.
Heaven forbid you look at the screen.
I know, it's awful. All right, we got 90s pop punk band Both Eyes Blind Award.
Flair, quick. Do you understand that reference?
No. Are they some kind of
90s pop punk
90s
band?
pop punk band.
There was a 90s pop punk band called Third Eye Blind
Yeah,
with
Third Eye
songs
Blind.
like Semi Charmed Kind of Life, which are only the best.
I think it's just semi-charmed life.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah.
Whatever.
whatever?
Get on our level.
Who won the Both Eyes Blind Award, Flaric?
Anyways, we got Shimpan in Endo/Oki no Umi and in Enho in Azumaryu. I think Endo Oki no Umi was a match I really enjoyed because it was very, very close and very, very dramatic because a lot of different techniques.
And
But-
technically over halfway through the match.
And technically, yes. You got up. Endo got up to the Tawara at kind of midway in there, and apparently that side Shimpan thought that his heel touched the ground, even though from every angle that we could see on the TV, that was not the case at all.
Does anybody here think Endo's foot touched the ground?
No. You can't,
Okay,
you can't
good.
blame the Gyoji for thinking it did.
Well, the Shimpan,
Shimpan.
raised, his hand, and so that's when the Gyoji pointed
Yeah.
Right.
the Goombai.
Exactly.
He
Oh,
puts his
okay,
hand
my
up and then
mistake.
he puts it down.
'Cause
But then the
yeah.
Gyoji points the Goombai.
The wrestlers kept wrestling, but the Gyoji called it over at that point because he saw the
Shimpan's
Shimpan.
hand.
Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, even still, maybe less of an excuse if the guys that got that angle on it, but it's
Yeah,
hard to blame them for calling it that live. But they reviewed it and said the same thing.
So I don't think they could have. They did not do a mono E for that, and I think it is because the Shimpan is the one who called the end to the match, and so a mono E would be like the Shimpan overturning the Gyoji's decision, and it would just be that Shimpan saying, "Yeah, no, I saw his foot hit." Okinomi wins the match,
Or another
and so there's no
Shimpan.
reason for a mono E because he was the guy that had the best view. He was
Right.
like staring right at it. Nobody would have a better view, so there's no reason for a mono E in their eyes because the only guy that could make a call to throw the Gyoji's call is the guy who made the initial call in the first place.
I see.
Oh yeah, I get. So you mean the only person who could do it? So he was still convinced. I still feel like watching that. You're probably unsure enough. You still want to say, "Hey, head Shimpan, let's do a mono E." Like kind of do like some wiggly eyebrows. Like, "Hey,
Challenge me on this one, please.
Please.
I think it's that must mean that the video booth Shimpan can't initiate that.
No, it's
No.
only the Shimpan at the side.
Okay.
Head Shimpan is my understanding.
Okay.
I think any of the Shimpan can.
They can
Any
raise
of
a
the
hand,
Shimpan can do
but
it, but the head Shimpan has to make the final call.
yeah, I think like he's the one who like rises up first if he feels like there's any kind of disagreement or something.
Okay.
But I think when the I don't know, it's kind of very interesting.
regardless though, like the guy on the camera in the booth is not able to say, "Hey guys, I think this is probably wrong."
No,
Or at least-
I don't think so.
Whether or not he can, he at least doesn't. I wonder if that's
They
a
should
firm rule.
they should change that. Like well, obviously like technically they should change that, but like I want like a camera cut to like the camera room and there's like just Shimpan like sitting on the pillow there, just kind of staring at the screen. What does the Shimpan and
The review booth.
in the review booth think?
I think they should also be able to review offensive and defensive passing interference.
You shut right up. What's our next damn award?
Well, we forgot.
Oh, no, we didn't talk about Enho Azumaru. Yeah.
That was clearly the worst call.
Yeah, it was one where Enho and Azumaru were going down. Azumaru was like throwing Enho down, but looks like they both kind of landed at the same time. It was called Enho was down first. There was no mono E, and upon further camera review, it looked like Azumaru's knee was definitely down before any of Enho was down.
He had him right where he wanted him.
No idea why there was no mono E there. My only guess as to why is because maybe they could say that Enho was a dead body at that point because maybe both of his feet were up. That's shaky at best, and
Yeah.
I don't even believe that. That's just the only explanation I could come up with.
I think that it would
Or
be,
they just missed it.
Yeah, they just missed it. Is what I'm betting.
Yeah, I don't
Are you
think
sure?
that
What's
dead
your-
body rule would apply in the
No.
ring.
I think there was. I remember feeling pretty outraged about this. I'm trying to think. Like I feel like there was like Mono E or someone was kind
I think
of.
there was a mono E in that
Yeah.
one. I think that's why I mentioned a mono
Yeah.
E for the other one. 'cause
Okay,
they're
so
running together.
all right, I do feel good about this. So I think the Gyoji made the right call. Like he called it in favor of Enho because he had the best perspective on that. And as soon as he saw that other knee touch first, he went the other way. But the Shimpan like kind of actually raised her hand from Mono E and
Which
said,
day was
"Hey,
that?
9. So Mac is checking the record while we continue to talk out our butts.
yeah, exactly." So, but my butt is saying next that so what the Shimpan who didn't have the best perspective at this case, they apparently like called it up and said like, "Oh no, this wasn't the correct."
You
call.
are
Like,
correct.
He obviously got
There was a
pushed the
mono
other
E.
way.
Oh, okay. Did they overturn the Gyoji's decision then?
Well, whatever they did, they said Azumaru won when
No.
he did not.
That went to Azumaru both times.
Yeah.
Okay, so they
Yeah,
upheld
Gumbai upheld. Gumbai Dori.
Gumbadori. Okay.
Oh, it was withheld.
No, as an upheld. He upheld the decision.
They said, Gyoji, you got it right.
Gyoji, Gumbai Dori means yes, you're
I
correct.
must be thinking of another match then.
So yeah, I mean, I got the video up here, and yeah, they're definitely calling a mono E, but the Gyoji points to Azumaru, which I can't blame him for this one because Azumaru was like the body that was on top as they were moving towards the ground, even though Azumaru's knee touched first, he
Yeah.
was still kind of on top.
Right.
Azumaru was like the aggressor in finishing the match, but Enho was able to do
No,
his-
did not stand. See?
What?
What? No.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Wrong.
See? He pointed
Incorrect.
towards Enho's
Incorrect.
side.
Do that again.
Yeah.
Rewind the match.
I'm sure this
Yeah.
is.
He is-
no, he
yeah.
points to Enho's side.
Yeah, the
Gyoji-
Gyoji got it right.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
Gyoji
Shimpan
did
messed
get
up.
it right. Okay.
That's why I'm kind of sad is because
Wow, we are just stumbling all
Wow,
over this
we are
one.
just doing awful.
So yeah, the Gyoji thought that the Gyoji was right there looking at Azumaru's knee in question. So, so I guess it's only we should be fair here. Only the Shimpan earned the both eyes blind for that particular one.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the he's here award, and that goes to Daishoho.
The next award goes to the Dark Blue Power Up, and that is for Hokuto Fuji, who goes 8-0 after switching from his silver Mawashi to his dark blue Mawashi. Let's talk
I did
about
not notice this at all.
let's talk about Hokuto
No.
Fuji a little bit more.
Yeah, let's get this over with.
As he started off 1-0. Hey, good job. You beat Hakuho, buddy. That's your 5th or 6th Kinboshi in your career. That's why you're my favorite. And then he loses 6 straight, and we're all woe is me.
And that's why he's your favorite.
Exactly.
And we're all just like, oh, Hokuto Fuji's trash. He's no good on the Midway episode. Like, what's wrong with Hokuto Fuji? And then Hokuto Fuji's like, it's not me. It's this Mawashi, I swear. I'll get this random Mawashi out from the closet, put it on. And then he goes ahead, does that, and he goes 8-0, finishing 9-6 after a 1-6 start.
He got it from the smelliest lost and found closet in the world.
I gotta find something.
I'm just
man.
imagining just a closet with like washis, just like little hangers, and they're just kind of go, which one should I wear today?
And there's going to be some very interesting Bansuke movement with Hokuto Fuji that we discuss on our Bansuke preview episode coming up soon.
What was the score at the end of it?
9-6 at Maegashira 1 East.
Interesting.
So he's the top-ranked Maegashira. All the Sanyaku guys had a winning record.
So
never before has a Maegashira 1 East gotten a 9-6 record and not joined the Sanyaku ranks.
But it's probably going to happen.
We'll see.
They'll just skip him right to Ozeki or something.
Can they do that?
No.
They cannot.
Okay. And then the final award is the Match of the Basho Award. And so we had a couple of candidates that we were considering. The Endo Okinoumi match, not only because it was an exciting match if you followed it to its logical conclusion of Endo beating Okinoumi, but also because it continues some controversy we've been seeing of the past couple of Bashos with Gyoji or Shimpan making bad calls with heels touching the dirt at the edge of the dohyo.
Yeah, like if somebody said, hey, show me one match that is 2019.
Tochinoshin versus Asanoyama. But this would be number 2.
But this one would be up there too. But like it summarizes the great sumo, the younger guys, the younger names that haven't been around forever. Okinoumi is one of the older guys. He's kind of probably on his way out.
34
Endo,
years old.
Yeah, Endo is more like the
28.
the mid generation, not like the super youngsters like Takakeshi or whatever, but like younger generation maybe on their way up. But no, somebody gets screwed by the judges and everything is dumb.
And it kept Okinoumi alive going into the final day where he had a chance to win the Yusho in the final day because of that. So luckily he didn't, so we didn't have that controversy on our hands.
But yeah, it exemplifies 2019 by also being a potentially Yusho influencing match.
Yeah.
Another candidate that didn't quite make the cut was Enho versus Sho Hozan. It was a long, protracted battle between the two smaller guys, and even a small guy like Sho Hozan can make Enho seem like a very, very small guy. But it was mostly highlighted by the fact that at one point Sho Hozan was lifted upon Enho's shoulders, and Enho squatted all of Sho Hozan, and then
Fought his way back up.
Yeah, he fought his way back up, but then he lost.
Just kind of got
still.
crunched.
Yeah.
At that point.
But our winner, our favorite match, is going to be Enho versus Kotoyuki. And that was another exciting Enho match where Enho saved himself from elimination by grabbing onto Kotoyuki's arm and pulling himself back into the dohyo, fighting back to get the win. He also recovered from a pretty nasty and blatant hair pull.
Massive hair pull.
So even if Kotoyuki had managed to get that win, I think that they would have taken a look at that and hopefully taken a look at that and overturned it.
Yeah, that rat bastard Kotoyuki. He goes.
I was waiting.
He tries to get an edge anywhere he can. He didn't really put his hands down. He has, those like flipper weapons that he's got taped up. I bet he has like a roll of quarters taped in there too, just because that's the kind of guy that he is. Yanks Enho down, like almost gets Enho's top knot on the ground just by pulling his hair. Oh man, that made me so mad. That pull in move, Enho just used inertia by like Kotoyuki is like 5 times my weight. So even though I am entirely out of the ring, I'm just gonna yank on him and pull myself all the way back in. Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's beautiful.
All right, Mac, what was your favorite moment of this Basho?
Only because this has only happened 7 times in history, and we've been witness to 2 of them, I might add. Had to be
Aren't we special?
We are indeed special. Had to be Takakeshi regaining his Ozeki rank. He got 10 wins. That's just fantastic.
When all of us were reading his training reports coming in, it's like, oh, he
He's
sounds like
not
garbage.
even going to get 4.
Yeah, exactly. So that very pleasant surprise, and yeah, that was just fantastic. Flair, how about you?
I would have to go with the playoff match. We got a playoff match, and it was just amazing.
The fact that we had a playoff
tasty.
match, not the playoff match itself, was just a little bit of a dud.
No, but it was drama until the very last match, which is exactly what I want. I hope for my Bashos, and I got it this time.
For me, I don't have one specific moment, but despite it being a very confusing and strange Basho throughout the entire course, 5 of my favorite guys came out in good shape. Enho and Ishiura both ended up with Kachikoshi. They did
Both
great.
small.
Yep. Takiyasu didn't get hurt any worse. Takakeshi got a Jun Yusho when we all expected him to still be pretty hurt. Mm-hmm. And Mitakayumi got a Yusho. Those they're not like my 1 through 5 in that order or anything, but they're like 5 of my favorite guys. Mm. And despite a lot of weirdness, in retrospect, it worked out great for everybody that I like.
definitely for me, it would have been Takakeisho Ozeki and the playoff match. Since those are already taken, I'm just going to go back to my boy
Shimanomi.
clutch with that 5-10 record, securing me that prediction series point.
How about that Daisho Ho?
Daisho, he won an award.
Oh, he's here too, right?
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah, but no, Hokuto Fuji being able to fight back from a 1-6 record to win 8 straight matches to close out the basho, get a 9-6 record. It was just more and more fun as the matches went on because he honestly he looked so completely and utterly beatable the first week.
Yes.
And then just so dominant and unbeatable. It didn't matter what anybody threw at him the second week. He just was able to bulldoze right through it and knock them out of the dojo every single time. It was just more fun as every match went on, seeing if he could pull off the streak to end it.
And it wasn't like, oh, he's started using this move now. It's just instead of losing, he made wins.
Hey, I can do the sumo. I can do the sumo. I got this.
He did sumo better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He did
just,
his best.
Did better. It was so weird.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll do better on the next time, but it certainly wasn't this basho where we did better. So if you enjoyed this podcast for some weird reason and you think we're the grest, leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast listening service.
Nice callback.
Thank you.
Oh yeah. If you have
Flair zoned out early this episode.
Well, you
Yeah.
skipped a whole section.
the
You forgot to mention when the next basho begins.
That's after this.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it isn't.
think-
It's not on the outline, Mac.
Oh, God.
anyways,
It's in November.
anyways, I think I remember what happens now. We have social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Our blog is grandsumobreakdown.com, where we have our fantasy and power rankings fully fleshed out after each basho.
You have any questions, comments, or corrections? Give us a call at 805-613-7866. That's 805-613-SUMO, or drop us a line at grandsumobreakdown@gmail.com.
Our Aki, not Aki, we just did that. Our Kyushu Bansuke prediction will be out sometime in the coming weeks. Also, the Kyushu Basho will be starting on Sunday, November 10th, and ending on Sunday, November 24th. Is there anything else that we are missing or skipped, Mac?
Yes, you need to sing my praises even more because I came from behind victory for fantasy.
Nobody cares. Jake, who won prediction series?
Yar, it be you, Yokozuna Ryan.
Damn straight.
You're making me swab the poop deck with poetry.
That's as good.
Be gone, you filthy landlubbers.
Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown.
Until next time.
Throw your salt high.
And keep moving forward.
Nobody cares.
You can dance if you
jerk.
want to.
jerk.
You can leave your friends behind.
Because if your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine.
I say,
We can dance if
if you want to,
We can leave your friends behind.
Because if your friends don't dance, and if they don't dance, then they're no friends of mine. We can dance.
and
We can
sing.
dance.
Jumping all over the song. Whip it good.
Oh, God.
No, you do.
All right, Fleck, where are we at on recording?
Oh, we've been recording.
Yeah, we should probably do actual logos.